The diplomatic hall of the planet Zyreth was unlike any human construction I had ever seen. Its towers of crystalline metal stretched impossibly high, refracting the twin suns into showers of iridescent light. I had been sent as a representative of Earth to negotiate trade agreements and cultural exchange, but no amount of preparation could have readied me for what was about to happen. The alienqueen, Syra'nel, sat upon her throne, an elegant figure of authority and beauty, her form adorned in flowing fabrics that shimmered like liquid metal. Her presence alone seemed to bend the air around her, commanding attention without a single word. I swallowed hard, gripping the ceremonial gift in my hands. I had rehearsed my speech endlessly, but as I stepped forward, my nerves tangled every carefully chosen word. "Your Majesty," I began, bowing respectfully, "I bring greetings from Earth and a token of friendship." Syra'nel's eyes, a deep violet with flecks of gold, studied me, and I felt as if she could peer directly into my thoughts. The court was silent, waiting for her reaction. I held the gift, a delicate crystal orb, from Earth's surface, hoping it would be enough to honor her culture. She smiled faintly, an expression both approving and playful. "You humans are charmingly clumsy with formalities," she said, her voice musical yet commanding. "But speak freely." That was when it happened. My tongue betrayed me. Instead of saying, "I hope this gift symbolizes our mutual respect," I blurted out, I would be honored to spend the rest of my life with you." The words hung in the air like an electric charge. Gasps echoed through the hall. I froze, horror coursing through me. I had not intended to propose. Not in the slightest. Not in any universe. Syra'nel's eyes widened. Then, slowly, a smile spread across her face. "Oh," she purred, leaning forward slightly. "And you think this is a request or a statement?" I stammered, turning crimson beneath my collar. My mind raced for an escape, a way to clarify, to retract the words, to undo this catastrophe. But before I could finish, she laughed. "A mistake," she said, rising gracefully from her throne. "Perhaps, but an intriguing one." The entire court seemed to hold its breath. She approached me, her movements fluid, almost otherworldly. "I accept," she said, her voice soft but carrying authority that left no room for negotiation. I blinked. You what?" "I accept," she repeated, reaching out her hand. "If your intentions are sincere, I welcome this union. Consider it a bond, sanctioned by the laws of Zyreth." Panic and disbelief warred within me. This had gone from diplomatic visit to cosmic engagement in less than a minute. I tried to protest, but her gaze held me in place, and her tone was not one to be argued with. The next hours were a whirlwind. Protocols shifted on the fly as court officials and alien diplomats hurried to adjust schedules, announcing preparations for a ceremonial union that would cement my place as a consort to the Queen. I was whisked away to a private chamber to prepare for the evening's rituals, a process that involved intricate garments of shimmering fabrics, jewelry that resonated with energy, and instructions I barely comprehended. Alone, I stared at my reflection. The human in the mirror seemed unrecognizable. Gone was the nervous ambassador. Instead, I saw someone caught between worlds, bound to an alien culture and a queen whose beauty and authority dwarfed anything I had known. When the ceremony began, I followed Syra'nel into the Hall of Bonds. The chamber was a cathedral of light and crystal, with energy threads weaving intricate patterns across the floor and ceiling. The queen stood before a towering structure, an alien altar pulsating with iridescent energy. "Do you, human ambassador, accept this bond?" the high priestess intoned, her voice echoing in the chamber. I swallowed hard, glancing at Syra'nel. Her expression was expectant, but kind. My panic began to ebb, replaced by a strange, growing sense of awe. "I accept," I said finally, my voice trembling but sincere. Syra'nel extended her hand, and I took it. The moment our palms touched, a surge of energy coursed through me, unlike anything I had ever felt. It was not painful, far from it, but it was as if our beings were acknowledging a connection that went beyond physical presence. The energy threads on the altar brightened, forming a radiant arc above us. The priestess intoned again, and the hall resonated with the hum of alien harmonics. "Then let the bond be sealed." I felt a shift within me, a sense of clarity and understanding. This was not merely a legal or ceremonial union. It was an intertwining of essence, a recognition that my life and hers were now entwined across dimensions of experience and perception. After the ceremony, Syra'nel led me to a balcony overlooking the city of Zyreth. Twin suns bathed the crystalline towers in golden light, and the sky shimmered with distant starships and floating gardens. She stood beside me, her hand resting lightly on my arm, and for the first time, I allowed myself to breathe. "You're still human," she said softly, "and fragile in ways my species no longer is. But that is admirable. Courage and honesty are rarer than strength or longevity." I chuckled nervously. I didn't exactly mean to propose. Her smile was gentle, yet there was mischief in it. Perhaps not. But fate has a sense of humor. Or perhaps it simply saw the truth of your intentions before you even did. Over the following weeks, I learned the complexities of Zyrethian culture, the politics of interstellar diplomacy, and the subtleties of Syra'nel's personality. She was as fierce as she was elegant, commanding armies and fleets with precision, yet showing a tenderness reserved only for those she trusted. I realized that my accidental proposal had not merely caught her attention, it had awakened a mutual respect and curiosity that could bridge the gap between our worlds. One evening, while walking through the palace gardens suspended in zero-gravity chambers, she turned to me. "You humans are unpredictable, yet resilient. You make mistakes, but sometimes they lead to the most interesting outcomes." I laughed, shaking my head. I never expected to be engaged to an alien queen. "And yet, here we are," she said, her eyes reflecting starlight. "Perhaps some accidents are meant to happen." Months passed, and I grew into the role of consort, not as a ruler, but as a partner, learning and contributing where I could. Together, we negotiated treaties, explored new worlds, and even established cultural exchanges that would benefit both Earth and Zyreth. Despite the initial chaos, I began to understand that my life had changed not because of the accidental words I had spoken, but because of the choices I made after. Courage, honesty, and willingness to embrace the unexpected had brought me into a position that few humans could imagine. One evening, while overlooking a nebula swirling in impossible colors, Syra'nel took my hand in hers. "Do you still regret it?" she asked, her voice both teasing and sincere. I smiled. "Not for a second. If anything, I think it was the best accident of my life." She laughed, a sound that resonated across the chamber. "Then we shall see where our bond leads next. Together, we may yet change the galaxy." As I looked out into the stars, hand in hand with the alien queen, I realized that life is often unpredictable. Sometimes, the universe presents moments that defy logic, expectation, and reason. But within those moments lie opportunities to grow, to connect, and to embrace adventures that transcend imagination. Accidental proposal aside, I had discovered something remarkable. The courage to step forward, the honesty to admit my intentions, and the chance to experience a life that was more extraordinary than anything I had ever dreamed. And as the twin suns of Zyreth set, casting their last light across the crystalline city, I knew one thing with certainty. Everything had changed, and nothing would ever be the same again.